We're going to make arm warmers that are Hungry Caterpillar themed, and so we're going to need red yarn, yellow yarn, green yarn. This is Big Twist brand. They no longer carry it, but if you could find another green ombre yarn, that will also work. This is a 4 milliliter hook. You need scissors, a darning needle, and some stitch markers. So if you want just hand warmers that start here, you can measure, create a chain that fits around your wrist, and then you can start from here. But the arm warmers that I did probably starts around here. And so I'm going to create a chain that fits this part of my wrist. So you can do a chain that fits yours, but I'll tell you how many I chain. So to start, we're just going to make a slip knot. And we're going to chain 26. So I did a chain of 26, and you don't want it to be loose around this part of the arm. You want it to fit just like when you have it completely stretched out, it just meets, because you don't want this to be loose when it's done. You want it to fit snugly around your arm. Okay, once we have our chain, I think I have 26 here. We're going to loop it together to create a circle that will fit on our arm. And so you want to make sure this chain is straight. It should be okay. Well, we can figure it out if it messes up, but you just want to make sure it doesn't go upside down or anything. And so you're just gonna put your loop in, and I'm just gonna slip stitch into that first chain that we did, like that. And we're gonna chain 2. I'm also just gonna make sure this fits on my arm. Okay. So I want it, well, for me, this is comfortable. You can do what you prefer, but if it's a bit snug here, but I can still get it on, that's good, because then that'll mean that it'll be snug once it's up here. So you don't want it completely loose, because then it's going to be very loose when it comes down to your forearm. After I slip stitch, I'm going to chain 2. Also ignore this, it's just like a knot in my yarn, which is very annoying. And I'm just going to double crochet in every stitch around this circle. And I'll meet you at the end once we have a double crochet in each stitch. Okay, I've reached the last stitch. And now I'm going to slip stitch at the top of this stitch, that first double crochet that we did. Also, sorry, it keeps going in and out of focus. And now I'm going to chain 2, and we're going to do another round of double crochets as we go along. So we start how we are, then we're going to decrease a little for our wrist, and then we're going to increase a little bit when we come back to our hand. So right now for round 2, we're just going to do another round of double crochets, 1 double crochet in each stitch. And again, I will meet you at the end of this round as I do my last double crochet. I just did my last double crochet for round 2. Now for round 3, we're going to have an increase in this row. It doesn't particularly matter where the increase is, but we want to have an increase. I might do 1 or 2, we'll see. I'm going to chain 2, I'm going to start with did I say increase? I meant decrease. I'm going to wrap the yarn around, go through 2 loops on my hook, wrap it around and go to the next stitch, go through 2 loops, and then pull through all 3. So that's 1 decrease. I actually might do 2. So I'll do 2. I'll do my second one in like a couple stitches. Okay, I'm going to do a decrease again. And continue doing regular double crochets until the end of this row. Okay, I reached the end of the row, I slip stitch, and now I'm going to chain 2, And for rows 4 and 5, we're just going to do a double crochet into each stitch. So for 2 more rows, we'll just do normal double crochet. Okay, so I just tried it on. It's feeling a little loose over here. And so for rounds 6 to 7, I'm going to have 2 decreases in each round. For round 6, I'm going to chain 2 and decrease. And I'm going to also decrease again in this round. I'll do it right now. And then I'm going to continue with double crochets for the rest of this round. Okay, just did round 6. I'm going to slip stitch like usual, chain 2, and for round 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, round 7, we're going to do the same thing as round 6, add in 2 decreases into this round, wherever you would like to add them in. And then again, I'll meet you at the end. Okay, for round 8, I also did the same exact thing as round 6 and 7, where I added 2 decreases in that row along the double crochets. And so now for round 9, I'm just going to do regular double crochets all around. If it's still fitting loose around your wrists, around round 8, you can continue to decrease in this round, but if it feels comfortable, then you can do a regular round of double crochets for this one. I just did round 10 of solid double crochets, and as you can see, we're getting up to, we're not going to count our thumb as like the width because we're making a thumb hole, but now I'm going to increase again. So round 11 and 12, I'll probably do increases, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm ending round 10 right now. I'm going to crochet 2, and you just do an increase by adding 2 double crochets into 1 stitch. And so I'm going to do that again as well, like we were with the decreases. And so you can also do them right next to each other. I don't know why in my mind I need them spread out. And so I'm going to increase again by adding 2 double crochets in a single stitch. And so we're going to do that for this round, which is, I believe, is round 11, as well as round 12. And I will meet you at the end of round 12. Okay, right now we're gonna make the thumb hole. So this is round 12. Okay, for this round, we're gonna start making the thumb hole. You can also, again, try it on to make sure it's at the spot that you need it to. Right about here before you start adding the thumb hole. And so we're gonna slip stitch. And then we're gonna chain 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to skip 4 stitches and slip stitch into the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, and slip stitch into this stitch right there. And so now we have our thumb hole. You can just make sure it fits by putting it on right now. This is how it looks for me. If this is also a little fitted, it is a little fitted for me. I might actually go back. You can go back and make a chain of 12 or 13 instead of 10, just to have a little more wiggle room right here. But once you do that, we can continue from there. So now we're gonna double crochet in that same stitch. And we're going to double crochet normally for the rest of the round. Okay, I reached the end of the row. We're going to do one more row of this green before we add the red in. Now we're going to double crochet into each chain of this stitch and then continue to double crochet normally around the row. And so this is really tedious trying to double crochet into these small chains, but and now we're just gonna do normal double crochets until we finish this round. We're gonna change colors now, but we're gonna slip stitch. And we're gonna grab the red yarn to continue from here. This is also how it should look now. Now we're gonna add in the red, make a slip knot, and we're gonna pull it through the green yarn. And we're gonna chain 2. Just want to tighten and hold everything. And so we're just going to double crochet again. I'm also going to take this tail with me so I don't have to sew it in at the end. And once we bring it with us, maybe like at least 6 stitches, you can cut that green yarn. But we're just going to go for double crochets this entire row, and I'll put on the screen right now how many rows of double crochets you want to make with this red. Okay, so now I'm done with the base of the hand warmer. I did 5 rows of solid double crochets, no increases, no decreases, just double crochets. This fits great on my hand, very comfortable. And so now we're gonna add the eyes and then we'll be done. So we're gonna make a magic ring with the green yarn. We're gonna chain 1, and we're gonna do 8 half double crochets into the magic ring. Okay, and now we close the ring, and then we're gonna slip stitch. Okay. And now we're going to add in the yellow yarn. You're going to make a slip knot with the yarn. And we're going to pull it through the green yarn. Okay. We're going to tighten everything like we did with the red when we added that in. Chain 1. And now we're going to do an increase in every stitch. So that will be 2 half double crochets in each stitch. And so at the end, you should have 16 total stitches. Before you finalize this eye, you just want to make sure it looks good on your arm warmer. If you find that it's too big or too small, you can always add or subtract stitches from this beginning. So we did 8 half double crochet. If you want it bigger, you can add 10 half double. If you want it smaller, maybe add 6. And then this yellow part stays the same. So you just increase in every row. But I'm going to leave it like this. I think this should be okay. Actually, I might try it on to see how that looks. Here's how it looks for me. I think that should be okay. It's better to try it on because then you know, obviously it's stretched out on your fingers, so you get a better idea of how it might look. So I'm gonna keep it just like this, and then you wanna make 2 of these, and we're gonna sew this on with the darning needle. Now I have my 2 eyes. You wanna make sure you cut a long strand of the yellow yarn so we can use to sew it in. And I also brung the tails with me, so I can cut these off, but if you didn't, you want to tie a knot or you want to sew these strands into the back of this yarn to make sure they're secure. So at this point, you want stitch markers you need to place them properly on your hand, and so you can use a bobby pin, an actual stitch marker. And so I'm gonna place this here. So I'm gonna put the stitch marker on this one as well, and then I'm gonna show you how to sew it in from there. So once you have your eyes in place, you just wanna go in and out of the little V's or the edges of the eye. So you're just going in and out, making sure you're not going through the whole thing and you're just going in between here. You just wanna hold it in place or use your stitch markers to make sure it doesn't move. And so we're just going to keep going around like this until the eye is all sewed in. Now we're complete with the arm warmers. You want to sew in all your ends and the inside, and you want the eyes to be about 2 to 3 stitches apart. I also sewed them on, leaving 1 row empty above and below it. And this is perfect for me. So you just want to sew on all those ends inside and make 2 of these, and you're complete.